Hi guys, this is gsmdown.com and I'm here with a handset known as the Allview X3 Soul. It's the locally integrated version of a handset known as the Gionee S6, and it was considered an early flagship till Allview decided to launch the Allview X3 Pro. We'll discuss later on. So the original version, the Gionee S6, debuted in November last year and it's priced right now at $300. We have already reviewed the X3 Soul Mini and this is the X3 Soul. It's a slim metal high-end phone and now it's time to talk about the design. So this model, the X3 Soul by Allview, is made out of metal in a proportion of 89%, has an unibody design and measures 6.9mm in thickness, exactly as the iPhone 6 if I'm not mistaken. It weighs 147.6 grams, which makes it slimmer and lighter than the Samsung Galaxy A5 2016, which is not a bad thing. It's a 5.5-inch device, it's a pretty long phone. One-hand usage isn't very comfy because of its length, but it has good grip and also a very solid build. It's a bit iPhone-like if you look at the back, and it also feels quite a bit like the Huawei P8 from last year. It's elegant, it's comfy, it has pretty narrow bezels for the screen, actually very narrow bezels, which are fine, and we have diamond cut sides at 45 degrees. Comes in black or gold, has pretty comfy buttons on the sides, and overall a nice, comfy and elegant design. Now as far as the hardware is concerned, I'm going to start off with the display. A very nice looking screen. It's an AMOLED made by Samsung, 5.5-incher, but the resolution is a bit of a bummer, 1280 over 720 pixels with OGS technology and Gorilla Glass protection. This panel we also saw on the Allview P8 Energy and Allview V2 Viper X. Too bad it's not a Full HD one, but let's check it out in action. Okay, so the usual test video is here, complete with a DTS sound option and a pop-up play-like feature, allowing us to minimize the video and make it play in a small window. Now let's discuss the screen itself. So the screen is very crisp in spite of only being HD, has vibrant colors, deep blacks and good brightness as well as wide viewing angles, has good contrast and can handle the sun quite good. But I have to mention that these black borders, well, those I do not fancy at all. Now the pixel setup here is quite unusual. I've seen it once or twice before, so let's check it out. This is the pixel setup. As I said, it's unusual. It's an RGB one, but there is a blue sub-pixel here. There is a blue pixel, the main pixel, with two sub-pixels, one green and one red. It was first used on the Samsung Galaxy Note 2, and apparently Samsung took that decision because this panel lasted longer than a regular AMOLED apparently. So, blue pixel with two sub-pixels, that's the setup. Now, as far as the brightness goes, we measured with a lux meter and achieved 462 lux units, which is good, especially since we beat the Huawei Mate S and the LG G4. Obviously, we have some special settings for set display. Included here, we got adaptive brightness, economical backlight, font size, sleep, and finally LCD effect with neutral, cool or warm. I recommend you don't change those because neutral is quite well calibrated. So overall a very solid screen, too bad for the HD resolution and the black edges. Now as far as the CPU is concerned, we're dealing here with an octa-core MediaTek MT6753 clocked at 1.3 GHz. That CPU was launched in the fall of 2014 and it's accompanied by the Mali T720 GPU as well as 3 GB of RAM. As you can see, we have no lag, and when it comes to gaming we can easily run complex games like Nova 3. And this handset also offers, aside from the 3 GB of RAM, well, it offers 32 GB of storage, microSD card slot with support for up to 128 GB, and that storage is offered as a SIM replacement. So the SIM tray can either hold two SIMs or one SIM and one microSD. The interface has no lag, it's a very fluid UI, performance is good, and we're ready to run a game that takes up 2 GB of space, more than 2, comes from Gameloft, and it's called Nova 3. Sort of a benchmark game. It's a few years old, but still pretty hardcore in the graphics department. Okay, strangely it wanted me to download the game in spite of the fact it was already installed and I already played a level or two, but anyways, let's check it out. Once again, a 2 GB game, so Taking a while to load all those nifty textures. Campaign, continue, and here we go. I have to mention that this handset manages to beat the Samsung Galaxy A7 2016 in some benchmarks like Antutu 6, and overall it has modest 3D Mark benchmarks. It's below the Allview X2 Soul and UTOC Fury, for example. Still, at least it beats the HTC One A9 in GFX bench, so that's no small feat. Overall, I'm happy with the performance, and I'm ready to show you some nice graphics in Nova 3. Finally, here we are. Okay, time to shoot or get shot at. Shotgun is here. Okay, here we go. We can enter the building and zap some enemies. Put the shotgun to good work. Very nice looking effects, lighting effects. This one's dead. This one is also dead. Shopping for kills, another kill. Probably shouldn't use the shotgun at such a long distance. Okay, maybe throw a grenade. They were blown to bits. They were thrilled to see me, and now they're not. Okay, even more foes. Even more grenades, and you get the gist of it. This shooter works and runs perfectly. And guess what? In spite of this being a slim and metal handset, you'd say that it probably overheats. Well, it doesn't overheat, and that's always good news. So after playing the game Riptide GP2 for 15 minutes, the temperature got barely to 35.8 degrees Celsius, and I guarantee that even playing Nova does not overheat this phone, so it can handle the pressure pretty well. Now, as far as the acoustics are concerned, we're getting here two grills, but only the right one is the speaker for the music. We have two music apps. There is music, there's play music, but we decided to go with the standard one. And we have quite a few options, like the equalizer here, with DTS option, various settings for various headsets, effects volume, sound modes, user-defined options, including a 5-channel equalizer, and that's pretty much it. I guess it's time to actually listen to a tune, or maybe two. Okay, so you get the gist of it. So we're dealing here with so-so volume. I have to say I'm not very impressed by the volume, although we do have a volume strengthening feature here. Clarity is good, the bass didn't exactly feel very strong, and overall the experience was fine, but we wanted more bass and more volume if possible. Now the headphones, if you've seen a review of a Gionee or Allview device before, well, you know what to expect. They have this small design. The small body you see right here, not elongated. They're comfy, they sit well in the ear, they're not very loud, they have an okay bass, and quite a big remote that sadly does not have volume buttons, sadly. We have FM radio supported on this phone, and we also did a decibel meter test that confirmed the fact this speaker isn't loud at all. So here we go, folder, and this one, and finally here we go, 78.2 decibels, which is not impressive, and it's below the Huawei P8 and the Evolio Neos, for example, but at least it beats the Samsung Galaxy A5 from last year. Time to talk about the camera. So at the back, 13 megapixel shooter with LED flash, face detection autofocus, f2.0 aperture, 0.1 second focus, and we also know the identity of the sensor is the Samsung S5K3M2. It may not mean much to you, but it's the same sensor from the Xiaomi Mi 4C and the OnePlus X, which is no small feat. The front camera is a 5 megapixel unit, and the camera app opens up fast, and the interface is typical for an Allview or Gionee handset. We got these options here for capture like Face Beauty, Professional, Magic Focus, and Normal, HDR, Super Photo that can interpolate a few shots, pick notes, scan, and GIF, and that's pretty much it. With Magic Focus you can refocus. With Professional we have some extra options to tweak like exposure, ISO, focus, shutter, and all that. And here we have more resolution, anti-banding, and that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Now the actual capture experience, well, the zooming is pretty fluid, and now let's see what the other options are. So among the appeals here are the fact that we have very fast picture taking, but the focus isn't exactly fast or not as fast as I like it. And you can also film up to Full HD using this handset, so no more than Full HD. Now as far as the gallery goes, we have taken 80 camera shots both at day and at night, and we start off with the daylight gallery. It was a sunny day of March, and if you're patient to focus, you'll get some very good results and interesting textures of your landscape shots and close-up shots. There is the occasional blurred shot, but I'm very happy with the colors we got here and the clarity and the exposure. So everything is good. Even the selfie feels a bit okay, could have been less exaggeratedly white, as you can see right here, maybe a bit too white. Other than that, if you zoom into landscape shots, you'll see that there aren't too many details and the trees feel a bit blurry, for example, but we find the clarity to be generally okay. Panorama was rather modest with a resolution of 46:56 and 11:68. We had some nice focus shots here. We play with the focus on this small statue, we focused on it or on the background and alternated between them, showing that the magic focus trick really works. Nice close-ups and once again nice texture. You wouldn't say there is a spider web here, but here we go, there is a spider web, you couldn't see it without zooming in. Okay, other things to mention, we have the super photo option that takes shots with interpolation and a huge resolution, 9312 over 6976. Good close-ups, great focus and excellent flower texture here. You can feel the humidity of the petal, although at first sight you couldn't see it. HDRs are also good, and aside from some oversaturated colors and the details in landscape, I would say we're doing fine. When it comes to nighttime shots, I would only go ahead and call them reasonable for a $300 phone. Those without flash are very blurred, those with flash are pretty reasonable, and colors look quite good. I would put this phone above the Samsung Galaxy S4 and the HTC Desire 820, and pretty much on the same level as the Allview P8 Energy, because they share the same camera, but this one seems to have improved exposure only a little bit. Now if you want to talk about the video, well, we filmed in Full HD at 30 frames per second in MP4 format and with a 14 megapixel bitrate. Sadly, the videos were rather not so clear, a bit shaky, exposure change was rather poor, but the microphone was fine. We registered pretty okay colors, and when zooming in, there was heavy quality loss, sadly. Let's find one more video. We got this one here. And once we took the nighttime videos, well, everything dropped. The frame rate dropped to 16 frames per second, bitrate to 9 megapixel, everything was poor and grainy, but you'll see those samples in the full text review in order to, well, let's not say enjoy them, but rather go through them and see what I mean. While the photo capture made us pretty happy for the price tag we just mentioned, the video capture is a bit underwhelming even for this price, and I feel that my very own iPhone 5 can film much better. Time to talk about other things like the web browser, and I'm going to access gsmdom.com here. Here we go. Mid-level speed, I'd say, but at least the website loads totally, nothing left to load, and the virtual keyboard is the stock one from Lollipop. Sadly, the browser's prowess is not confirmed by the benchmarks that are rather unimpressive when it comes to results of the browser. Now, as far as connectivity is concerned, let's see what we're dealing with here. So this model comes with 4G LTE support with up to 150 megapixel download speed. It has Bluetooth 4.0, Wi-Fi 802.11 BGN, Wi-Fi Direct. It has an USB Type-C port right here, dual SIM slots, hot not, GPS and HD voice. It also delivers good signal, good voice quality and pretty loud calls. The speed test we did for the Wi-Fi section, well, resulted in these results, with 24 megapixel in download and 22 in upload, so I'd say we're doing fine. Now let's see how the battery is doing. Probably the best aspect of the phone is its battery. Lithium polymer, 3150 mAh. When it comes to video playback, a huge, and I mean huge surprise, 12 hours and 1 minute. We beat the Galaxy Note 5, iPhone 6 Plus, we're pretty much there, and we beat the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus, so incredible feat. for $300 phone. In PC mark, 8 hours and 31 minutes, great, once again beating the Galaxy Note 5 and Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. The charging requires 2 hours and 17 minutes and it's once again okay. Obviously, power saving features are included. You can find them here, like standby intelligent power saving. We got power manager with normal mode, power saving mode and extreme saving mode, and those are pretty much it, unless I'm missing something, like the smart power saving at night and smart cleaning. So overall, excellent battery, not much to object about here. Now if you want to talk about the OS, this is Android 5.1 Lollipop. It's pretty much stock, but it has its customizations. We have some very nice looking widgets that you can see right here, divided into subsections. Multitasking is still triggered by a carousel, plus this option to shut down everything and clean the RAM. And then we have swipe down for notifications and swipe up for the quick settings, including 4 shortcuts towards the most used apps. Now if you enter the settings area, you'll find the usual connectivity options, date and time, notification center, control center, power management. But the interesting bit is the advanced settings with smart gestures here, like smart dial, pause alarm, black screen gestures where you draw a pattern to access the menu quickly. We got suspend button, which is a floating widget with extra virtual buttons, and that's pretty much it as far as the interesting stuff goes. Now if you want to talk about the pre-installed apps, well, I counted them. There are 46 of them, which is quite a bit, almost in bloatware territory. Things to remember here: Bitdefender mobile security, Chameleon which takes color from the environment using the camera, creates a theme. We got a child mode, we got a compass, let's see what else, and the system manager that may come in handy sometimes to clean up your memory, power and traffic. Okay, time for the verdict. This phone is called the Allview X3 Soul and is the locally Romanian integrated version of the Gionee S6, as some people may know it, especially in China and India. So on the pro side, it's an elegant phone, a comfy phone, very slim, has a good display, doesn't have any lag, has okay performance, there's no overheating, and provides a good camera for the price, and I mean here photo especially, not exactly video. And then there's the selling point, the incredibly great battery. On the con side, the screen resolution should be higher and the phone could be louder, so the speaker could be better, and the video capture was unimpressive, and finally quite a few apps pre-installed. Now the Gionee S6 is a very solid Samsung Galaxy A7 2016 rival and Huawei P8 rival. Too bad for the screen resolution and video capture, otherwise it's a great phone with a great battery. It's possibly the best battery you can find on a phone that measures less than 7mm in thickness, so that's something to remember. This is it from gsndon.com. Bye bye.